Hey homesteaders, gardeners, and cooks, my name is Jennifer. Welcome to Miles Away Farm, or welcome back. Today we are making a basic cranberry sauce. This is one of those things that it's super easy to just go to the grocery store and pick up a can of cranberry for your holiday tables. And there's nothing wrong with that. I actually really love a jellied cranberry sauce right out of the can. It's kind of a comfort food from my childhood. But it is super, super easy to make cranberry sauce from scratch. You can make it a day or days ahead for your holiday gatherings if that's what you're doing. I also really just love it as a leftover, and so we will eat it with a holiday meal, but we will also spoon it over yogurt. We will put it into muffins and make cranberry muffins. So it's just a fun thing to have on the table this time of year. And I like the idea of supporting local cranberry farmers. I'm in Southeast Washington, and Southwest Washington actually has quite a bit of cranberry growing. And it's a very seasonal crop. You know, you need to use it fresh or freeze them pretty quickly, and it's only available in the fall. And so I like the idea. By buying that, I'm supporting my cranberry growers on the west side of Washington State and not just buying something from a big box store out of a can. You can do a lot of different flavorings with cranberry sauce. This is the last of our cranberry sauce from Thanksgiving. We did have a big bunch of it and we're kind of slowly working our way through it. I personally love orange and cranberry. I think that's one of the best combinations there is. But you can do pear and cranberry is also quite delicious. And so there's lots of different recipes out there and simple ways of doing it. In order to get orange flavor, you want to use the juice from the orange, of course, but that's not really going to carry a ton of flavor. So the zest is really important. And then if you really want to get some orange flavor, this is the secret weapon. This is triple sec, which is a orange liqueur, fairly inexpensive, kind of classic mixer for cocktails. And adding a couple tablespoons of this to your standard batch of cranberry sauce is going to give you a much bigger orange punch in terms of really being able to taste that orange. This is an old trick from America's Test Kitchen recipe from many years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. You won't see me add this in the recipe because it turned out we were out of triple sec when I was filming this, and so I had my husband go to the store and we stirred it in afterwards. It's basically a syrupy liqueur, and so it stirs right in. It doesn't have to be while it's cooking. If you are not an alcohol drinker, just add a good dose of orange zest. And then the other thing that probably would work would be something like this. These are the Torriani flavorings that you use for Italian sodas and often in coffee. If you have a restaurant supply store anywhere near you, they often sell a ton of these fairly inexpensively. And so this would also probably be a great addition if you were trying to avoid the alcohol. But simple cranberry sauce, let's get started.
A regular bag of Ocean Spray cranberries is 12 ounces. This happens to be a pound. It was 2 8-ounce bags of organic cranberries. And to this, I'm adding 3/4 of a cup of water and 3/4 of a cup of sugar, and then the zest of 1 orange. The recipe on the back of the bag for the 12-ounce cranberries, I think, calls for a cup of sugar. We like things a little bit less sweet. I've discovered over the years that 3/4 of a cup is about where I want to be. You can do this to taste. You could also use an artificial sweetener if you didn't want a full sugar sweetener in there. You could also do a little bit of maple syrup. So lots of different ways to go here. And then this is a classic zest grater, and I'm just putting that orange zest into the mix and then squeezing the orange itself in there as well. And I like to squeeze once with these type of squeezers and then fold the fruit in half and squeeze it a second time. I find that they don't press down enough to get all the juice out of it the first go round. And so I always end up folding the fruit in half. These berries were frozen when I started, and so you can see they're still a little bit stuck together. Cranberries pretty much last forever in the freezer, and so you can just throw the bag in the freezer as you get them, or put them in a freezer bag if you want longer term storage. But I tend to do that rather than leave them in my fridge where they're going to get lost and start to go bad. So give everything a good stir here. You do need that moisture in the bottom in order to not have things burn. Cranberries aren't particularly juicy. They do have a little air pocket in the center, and so they will float until they start to break up. And so you can see that these are definitely floating here as they start to heat. And then when they start to boil, they start to pop, and you will hear them start to pop. I don't find that every single cranberry tends to pop. Some of them seem to just hold up and not blow up in the heat. Maybe because they're less ripe, not really sure there. But after they have mostly broken down, which usually takes 5 to 10 minutes on kind of a medium to medium low heat, you don't want a ripping boil here. I usually use a potato masher just to get the ones that haven't actually popped. They are quite tart on their own, and so I want them to be broken open so that that sugar can penetrate the flesh, because otherwise I'm just going to get a serious sour note if I just eat one of those whole that hasn't broken open. But smash them with a potato masher. A pinch of salt in here is not a bad thing. That always helps elevate flavors. You can add a little bit of vanilla. Again, fresh grated ginger or even powdered ginger is lovely in this. And then this is where you would want to add your triple sec if you were adding that, couple tablespoons poured in right at the end so that you don't cook off all of that lovely flavor. But there you have it. Fresh cranberry sauce takes about 10 minutes, lasts at least a week in the fridge. Definitely worth doing. Give this recipe a try, tribe. How do you like your cranberry sauce? Thanks for watching, tribe. If you like this kind of content, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment, and share. I have new content coming out every week.